As inflation continues to skyrocket, prices of everyday items are at an all-time high. Many are seeing the impacts in their wallets. SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union wants to shed light on spending practices that may be a sign of a bigger problem. It's Financial Wellness Wednesday, and Roseville Branch Manager Travis Mara is here with how to spot the signs and how to curb your spending habits. Hi, Travis.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Travis. I'm excited to talk about this one, but I'm also nervous because you're talking directly to me about these spending habits with inflation happening.
Sure, talking to the mirror here.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So, Travis, I know we've all had some late nights scrolling on our iPads or our phones, maybe hitting the buy button a little too much, but not being careful with spending can become a long-term financial burden, correct?
Yeah, it really can. And, you know, generally there's two types of spending. There's spending on essentials, your housing, your clothes, your food, but there's also discretionary spending, which is all non-essential items. And it's important to be aware of what you're spending on and identify if perhaps you do have a spending problem. With that said, you know, let's assume we're talking about someone whose income is enough to cover all their normal life expenses, the housing, the food, their insurance, utilities, and transportation. But their spending is getting in the way of their financial stability.
Okay, that's good to know. And what are some signs that spending has gone too far?
Yeah, I always say start by looking at your credit card debt. You know, if you do have one or more credit cards that are maxed out from non-essential items, then, you know, that is an opportunity to take a look at yourself. You know, debt doesn't go away. It's with you a long time. And if you find yourself, hey, I can only make my minimum payment, or I may be missing payments, that's signs that there is maybe an issue. You know, if you're curious about your own personal situation, it is an easy process. You know, credit cards are required on their statements to tell you how long will it take to pay off my balance if I just make that minimum payment. So I encourage you to review all of your statements and kind of self-assess. How long of a time frame am I looking? And that's considering I don't charge another penny and I continue making that minimum payment. So we do encourage you know, individuals to kind of take some of that excess spending and apply it to your credit cards on top of your minimum payments. And another thing is kind of refrain from increasing your balance with those unnecessary purchases.
That was my next question. Does it matter what we spend the money on? I mean, I recently went to Macy's, maybe had a little shopping spree. Does that matter?
Well, I don't judge, yeah. But it is important to look at what you bought and see where your money is going. You know, was this that emergency car repair or that unexpected funeral expense? You know, a lot of times those are more problems from a cash flow standpoint, not a spending issue. But, you know, if you are kind of noticing I'm buying flat screens that I don't need, or as we kind of are guilty of those impulse buys on Amazon that are always so tempting, then it's time to take a breath, reevaluate, and kind of look around your house. Do you have items still in boxes? Are there things that you're not using or need? You know, that is, you know, if you're saying yes to any of those, then you're kind of maybe going down that wrong spending path.
Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, do I have items with tags on them still? Yes, okay, I need to work on this.
For sure.
But what about emotions surrounding spending? Could you tell us those?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. You know, spending does impact our emotions. You know, a lot of people seek a thrill in finding a great deal online or in person. They also like to buy those expensive things, but guilt quickly comes in when you realize I can't afford that expenditure, and there's nothing worse than that feeling. And so then you start maybe hiding some purchases from others, and that only just compounds kind of that stress and kind of that fear. You know, debt really does bring emotions to it. You know, it makes us feel helpless, it makes us feel depressed, and you know, so the key is to kind of get in front of it and you know, identify it. That's the first part of kind of addressing the spending issues.
Yeah, definitely want to address them. And what do you recommend for people who need help curbing their spending?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot there that you can do. You know, it's never too late to kind of start getting your finances in order. You know, most institutions, banks, credit unions do offer, you know, debt counseling. They have financial resources available in person or online. You know, we invite everyone to kind of visit our website, which is SchoolsFirstFCU.org, and you'll see a lot of resources, articles to help you get on the right track.
Yeah, it's always helpful. Any last tip for our YCL viewers?
Yeah, you know, like we said, you know, managing finances isn't easy. You know, it does impact our well-being. It does impact relationships. And so if you are going through a financial hardship, please reach out to your financial institution. You know, I know these are very difficult conversations to have with ourselves as well as others, but the sooner you do kind of address it, the more options that'll be made available to you.
Yeah, and I know Schools First Federal Credit Union, you guys have so many locations. We're taking a look at some of them now, so they have that option to do so. And we want to tell our money what to do, not the other way around.
For sure.
Travis, thank you so much for joining
Thanks for
us.
having me.
Yeah, of course. And for more information, you can visit schoolsfirstfcu.org.